Hello there everybody, Simon here. This video is dedicated to my love of Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption Online. I've been playing this game for a long time, pretty much since launch, and these are my personal 5 most requested features for Rockstar games to change Red Dead Online for the better. And without further ado, number 1, an accessory locker at camp. We have the weapon locker. It was added in to an update long ago in which we can specifically customize which weapons are actually on our horse at any given time. So we're not inundated with 10 to 20 weapons just sitting on our horse, not being used by us because they're not our go-to weapons. The accessories have been very cluttered for me on my particular wheel, and I think other players are likely facing the same issues. When I click L1, I'm on PlayStation, I have this issue where specifically I will cycle through to get from the lasso to the reinforced lasso, or try to pick up bolas, but I'm cycling through multiple items, whether it be toxic moonshine or tomahawks, in order to get the item that I really want to use. This shouldn't be so difficult. I shouldn't have a regular lasso on my horse anymore. The reinforced one should be all I have. But, unfortunately, this isn't something that I'm able to organize. And so the goal would be that the wheel can be organized completely. If I want to use the lantern very commonly, I can just have the lantern if I want to and take everything off. If I just want to use the reinforced lasso or just want to use bolas, I have that option. Some items, of course, cannot be removed from the horse or from your person. That I understand. You can leave those on the wheel. But I believe that I should be able to customize the wheel more perfectly to the way that I want to play. Number 2, my second most requested feature is a role in which I believe many players have asked for over the years, and that's a rancher role. The rancher role seems like an obvious one. We're not able to tame horses and sell them at the moment. Even wagons, a stagecoach as an example. The stagecoach fence, like in the single player campaign, would be a fantastic addition to this game. We're not able to own properties at the moment. Beyond the relatively minimalist moonshine shack, that is. I've got a lot of money. I mean, I have a lot, but I feel like there's players who have played this game since launch who are level 300 that have way more money and gold than I do. The point of mentioning that is that I want to be able to spend it on something. Lately, I haven't been able to spend it on any large purchases. When I was able to purchase, items in the Moonshiner Shack or the camp, those were pretty large purchases, about $1,000 a piece. Lately, there hasn't been much like that. And so, with the blood money missions added, we've been generating, I think, even more cash than ever before. It would be great to be able to own a ranch property, to be able to take care of cattle, take care of sheep perhaps milk a cow, perhaps own a stable of our own in which we can house as many horses as the game allows. And with that, you can add customization options, what we can add into that property, what we can change about the home that we now live in. The idea here is, it would be a lot for me to purchase, and suddenly I would be broke, and now I would have to generate more income, which would ultimately fuel the economy in Red Dead Online. So I feel like that kind of concept is welcomed by me, and I'm sure it would be welcomed by Rockstar, if they aren't already working on this already. This role would be more of a quiet role, similar to the naturalist role which we got last year. But probably the biggest thing that I would love to be changed or added in and around the concept of adding a rancher role to Red Dead Online is the ability to bond with your horse above bonding level 4. Level 4 bonding is fantastic. I like the concept of bonding in general. It's an extremely immersive feature that I believe is a huge up from what we had in Red Dead Redemption 1. But what's missing is the ability to continue to grow that bond with your horse. So hear me out. Let's say that the initial maximum is bonding level 4, which we've all reached. But then you have an additional 4 levels from 4 to 8 that basically represent a fluctuation based on how you treat your horse over time. If you continue to feed your horse, then your level goes up, and it could potentially reach 8 or 7, whatever it may be. You could continue to lead your horse perhaps, and then you could get bonding levels for leading your horse or petting your horse, giving your horse better food. That's how you get to higher bonding levels. If you decide to then ride your horse into the den of 100 wolves, then perhaps your bonding level goes down because your horse is afraid. The more bonding you get, the more perks you get. Not necessarily in the same way like an ability of drifting, but maybe your horse is now more courageous. Maybe your horse has a higher stamina level. So if you're one of those players that just simply never brushes their horse, which most players can get away with, it just wouldn't be as good for you, and you'd probably land yourself at horse bonding level 4 permanently. It would almost be like the honor system, but for horse bonding instead, in that it can fluctuate from 4 to 8, 4 to 10, whatever it may be, based on how you treat your horse. And that also means that the system of getting honor for brushing or petting your horse will be abolished, because that is just a silly concept that I feel like doesn't make any sense. And that leads me to my next point. Number 3, my third most requested feature to Rockstar games is to repair their honor system. I've heard this time and time again from friends playing the game. Why is it that I cannot maintain a negative honor? Negative honor, dishonor, should be easier to attain than positive honor. I am always honorable. I can shoot up a town, I can do various blood money missions, but in the end, once I pet my horse, brush my horse, take care of him, feed him, I somehow gain positive honor for that. It doesn't make any sense. In reality, anyone in the Wild West, whether you're evil or good, you would take care of your horse, because if you're not riding well, if you can't go long distances because your horse is tired because it hasn't been fed, then it's going to impact you regardless of your morality. It should be a separate system. No honor should be given in that regard, and then it should be harder to get out of the confines of dishonor. When you're that dishonorable, it should be hard to dig yourself out. If you shoot up a town, you should be dishonorable for a long time. To be an honorable person, you should be helping people constantly. If you're doing blood money missions, you should be dishonorable. Being a bandit instead of an honorable cowboy arguably should pay very well, but the townsfolk will then look at you differently. And then, once you look at this honor system, you revamp it and properly value dishonorable and honorable actions to make more sense for what a player does in-game. What will end up happening is that you can throw rewards or even specific missions or roles at either end of the spectrum. I imagine a world in which a lawman role exists, but you cannot partake in such a role without being in the honorable half of the honor spectrum. Or maybe when purchasable properties are introduced, you can only buy certain properties throughout the map based upon your honor reputation. I imagine a world in which there might be certain higher stakes blood money opportunity like multi-tier heist missions that require you to have a dishonorable reputation, or the mission givers simply won't trust you as much. Perhaps certain fences might suspect you as an informant and not wish to do business with you, or even might charge you more money for certain items. To fuel the game's economy, Rockstar can certainly keep the feature where Old Man Jones sells you negative or positive honor, but the purchase for positive honor will mean a heck of a lot more when actions throughout the game are weighted more consistently. Ultimately, repairing the honor system is all about making Red Dead Online an even more immersive experience than it already is. To be clear, I love the honor system. I think it should remain in the game, but it needs to be tweaked in a major way to make it more substantial and to actually mean something. Number 4. Number 4 is a fun one. This one is one, again, that I've heard many times before. People want the ability to tap into the concept of what Undead Nightmare was on Red Dead Redemption 1. I want this too. A horde mode where you literally fend off hordes of zombies sounds like an easy one now, because we just got Call to Arms, which is a great survival game mode, which I cannot stress enough is an amazing addition to Red Dead Online. So with that being said, it would be incredible to have a zombie type mode where the zombies are coming in droves into Blackwater or Valentine. It's a great time to do this during October's upcoming Halloween season, when the Halloween Pass has been launched, as an example. But I would like this to even go a step further. As a long-term plan, it would be cool if you could somehow enter an alternate universe type game mode where you're surviving on the run from zombie hordes in a post-apocalyptic type environment. Zombie modes typically just do very well for game companies. When you look at Activision with Call of Duty Zombies has taken almost a life of its own. I'm not a big Call of Duty guy, but I do occasionally, especially when it's on PlayStation Plus as a free game, I definitely play that game specifically for the zombie modes. If you even look at Watch Dogs Legion by Ubisoft, somehow they beat Rockstar to a zombie mode for Watch Dogs Legion, which I found to be quite interesting. So I think that the reason why a lot of these developers gravitate towards adding zombie modes is because they're extremely popular and they bring in a player base. So Rockstar, if you're listening to this, a zombie mode is long overdue. You did it before with Undead Nightmare, and I'd expect that with the amazing amount of detail that you place into each one of your games, that this mode would be an incredible experience. And number 5, this is arguably my most requested feature, but this feature is essentially a little bit more abstract. It's not a role request, it's just the way that experience points are structured in-game. Roles are such a good idea for the immersive experience that Red Dead Online delivers. But when you gain experience when you're already level 20, for let's say the trader role or the moonshiner role, you can't go above level 20. And nothing you do will make it clear to any players playing with you or playing around you that you're a better moonshiner than they are, or that you specifically favor being a bounty hunter. Of course, bounty hunter did get a little bit of an upgrade. It did get an extra 10 role levels or ranks for bounty hunter, but that doesn't go far enough, because ultimately when you leave roles into a game for long enough, everyone will be at max level. So my request is that Rockstar not do away with the ranking system. I do like the idea of the evolution of roles over time, but what I would like would be the ability to level up roles indefinitely, much like our character levels level up indefinitely. So what I mean by this is I'm about level 200. In theory, I should be able to build up Bounty Hunter to level 200 or level 100, level 50. If you're able to look at my player profile, you'd see, wow, this guy's a bounty hunter. This guy's gone far in bounty hunting. Then Rockstar could maybe broadly give rewards for every 10 levels that you attain in a certain role, as opposed to, spacing out content so that you're trying to attain it just for 20 levels. Which again, everyone I know that plays the game pretty much is at level 20 or at max level for each of these roles. The goal would be to specify, to have me potentially be better at moonshiner, or better at trader, which I'm actually spent a lot of time on. And over time, any players looking at my profile would realize, oh wow, he's done a lot of trading. And as a result, it influences me to continue wanting to trade, to continue wanting to be a bounty hunter, to potentially make a top, 1,000 list in the world for how much bounty hunting I do. That type of ranking system and that type of statistic is something that I always welcome in games. I like the concept of being at the top potential ranking for a particular role, but specifically, I would just like to be able to see that my experience went to something specific. You might be saying, Simon, but they added the ability to reset your role experience every 10,000 XP. That is true for bounty hunters specifically, but that's not enough. I don't necessarily want to just make monetary gain. The status, the reputation is what I'm looking for. So not just making money, making gold because I've attained a certain amount of XP, but having the reputation of legendary bounty hunter because I've reached level 100. And so that is something that I'm looking for. Something that would really set us apart. These online games, they can get a little bit monotonous. We get in this state where we feel like we're not really unique as players. And the amount of clothing selection that Rockstar has poured detail into for Red Dead Online is admirable. They've done an incredible job with this. If they could do something similar for the reputation behind their roles, they'd be incredible in my book. Those are the 5 requests that I have to Rockstar Games to adjust Red Dead Online for the better. Are there other feature requests that I have for Rockstar to make Red Dead Online the most fantastic open world online game around? Of course! The reintroduction of more substantial daily challenge streaks, adding the region of Mexico, and free roam train robberies are 3 more features that I'd love to see. But the top 5 features listed in this video have simply been at the top of my mind lately. Ultimately, I love this game, and I truly want to see it grow. But please Rockstar, add Mexico. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to have an open discussion about this. But thank you very much, and have a great day. Thank you.